Hello everyone, and welcome back to a new episode of Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup. We're playing an Ogre Gladiator of Uskayo, and in the last episode we finished up Elf. Well, we started Elf and we finished Elf in the last episode, in fact. Which, together with our recent... Oh, that's right, we're not wearing the Ice Dragon armor anymore either. We're wearing Storm Dragon armor. So it's an even more recent Dragon armor pickup, but I'm feeling good about it. I think this game's going in a good direction. It's still not exactly easy going, but it's a lot better than it was before we finished Spider. I can tell you that. And so I think the next thing we're going to do is head to Shoals. To, probably get another rune, but certainly like it, Shoals 1 should be easier than Vaults 4, I would think. Something to note here is that I'm still not totally sure this is the right stuff to be training. Like, fighting is getting pretty expensive right now. Invocations, evocations, throwing, armor, dodging, translocations, these are all things that I would like to have more of, and I don't really know what the right way to prioritize any of it is. Yeah, of course the Storm Dragon armor is heavier, so it's going to be harder to cast Blink. So one thing that I recall is that spell power is about as good as a quarter of a level in a spell school, right? Is that right? That might be right. I'm not sure if that's for determining fail chance or for determining spell power, or if it's both kind of somehow, or if it's like a quarter for one of them and half for another. I don't remember exactly, but the reason I bring this up is because as an ogre, our spellcasting aptitude is much better than our aptitude in, say, translocations. We can train it roughly twice as fast. Assuming that they're at identical skills, it's actually twice as fast. So, I don't know. If we wanted to get just translocations, say just Blink, if that was the only spell we wanted, then it would probably be best to train mostly translocations with a bit of spellcasting. But if we wanted to get, like, say, regen and Blink, it might be better to train mostly spellcasting and a little bit of those schools. I'm not really sure. So, I don't know. This ogre went from having only 3 or maybe 4 skills he wanted to train ever to, like, now I have 6 or 7, and I'm not really sure what the right way is to balance it all. Right, we want fighting, we want armor and dodging, we want Invo and Evo, it's already 5, a couple spell schools, 7, 8, geez. It's a lot harder all of a sudden. But we don't have to keep pouring experience into maces and flails, so like we can sort of... We have more to work with, but we have more constraints as well. So there's a lot more room to be wrong. But the payoff for being right is better, I think, is roughly an accurate summary. How much am I really using my evocables? Let's check that. Yeah. I'm so glad we put this in the game, by the way, the question pound thing to look at your morgue file while you're playing. It also includes some fields that are only dumped out if you have a particular option enabled, which I mostly don't. It doesn't look great on a screen of this size, which is a little strange, but okay. At any rate, we can sort of work out what's going on. We've evoked our rod a total of 45 times, the wand 35 times, and a sack of spiders once. So, not that much, actually. I have a lot more evocables now, so it could still be a good idea to train it up. Like, these are quite powerful, but ogres don't have great aptitude for that. I'm going to try putting some into spellcasting, actually, and see, like... Excuse me. See how much of a difference it makes to have, like, one level of spellcasting in terms of how castable, say, Blink is. And then when that's done, I'll train, like, one level of translocations, see how much difference that makes, and then maybe I can make a plan for that. At any rate, one level of spellcasting shouldn't cost me too much, so that, like, if it turns out it costs way too much to get something online, then, like, hey, at least I haven't invested too much in it, right? I think that that's something that some players worry about too much. Maybe I worry about it not enough, but my opinion, anyway, is that some players worry too much about never wasting a skill point. You got to put them all in to the right things from the beginning, and so you see a lot of players like who won't train a weapon skill until they've found an executioner's axe or a triple sword or something, and they'll just train fighting until they found the best weapon you could imagine, and they want to pour all their skill points into it all game. Whereas me, as soon as I find something like halfway serviceable, I'm happy to commit to it. Pour a bunch of weapon points into it. And like if I find something so amazing that it's worth switching, then, you know, it was enough to help me survive the early game. And I'll have skill points left over at the end of the game anyway. Right? I mean, you sort of train a bunch of stuff near the end of the game that doesn't really matter just because you have points, and like, why not? So it doesn't really hurt much to waste some experience early if that waste is not actually wasted at all, but helping you stay alive for the early game, which is the hard part. Then it's, you know, I think most people sort of take the early game for granted because it's extremely hard compared to the rest of Crawl, so like, why would people take it for granted? What I mean is not that they take it for granted that they'll live, but they sort of take it for granted that like whether they live or die is not impacted by the choices that they make. It's just random luck. And so that leads players to making decisions that ignore the early game and focus on the late game because they don't think they have enough skill to have an impact on the early game, or they think it's impossible to have enough skill to have an impact on the early game. I don't know, I've talked about that before on this channel, but I was reminded of it now. Why? Because I'm wasting points in spellcasting. That's why. Great. So let's waste some points in translocations now. So Blink went from 100% fail to 100% fail. So 2 levels of spellcasting didn't impact any of this stuff at all. That's a slight surprise to me. I expect 2 levels of translocation will make a difference, but I'm not sure how big of one. Actually, skills at 100%, spells at 100% failure are kind of hard to impact. It's hard to get from 100% to 99. Once you're at like 99, things start to go faster. So I don't know, maybe 2 levels will not be enough. But since I see the level 1 spells are at 99%, I expect we can get level 2 spells there relatively quickly. Anyway, so my point is, go ahead, waste experience points. You're going to have more than you need at the end of the game. And so you won't regret having spent them. And it can help you actually get to the end game. Amazing. Like, have we wasted anything on this guy? I mean, not really. I think everything we've put points into has... But, like, that's... An Ogre Gladiator is a character with a very strong notion of what you will be spending points on all game. At least for the early game, right? Maces and flails, dodging, fighting. Especially maces and flails and fighting. Alright, so translocation is at 1. And already, Blink, 99%. Alright, I think we can do it. It's going to take some experience, but like we're only putting 1/3 of our XP into this, and it's going along okay. And we even can look at how apportation is doing and sort of forecast. Like roughly, Blink will be a little bit behind apportation, but not a lot behind. Which is sort of a nice way to... oh, hello, Roxanne. I think I'll leave you alone. Anyway, it's a nice way to sort of have some idea of what our near future is going to be in terms of the benefits that we are getting from training translocations. And I think Eventually, we might want to do some more spell casting. I don't know. Let's just see. What if I had a little bit more intelligence, right? Right now it's at 90. Let's look at apportation, because that was a little easier to measure. It's at 93, right? If I were to put on my ring of intelligence, it's at 87. So that makes not a huge difference, but it's a little noticeable. So I will then drop all these stupid stones. I don't. And the ring of dexterity, I guess. I don't know. +3, very funny. Well, I don't need 2 of these. I don't really need the ring of dexterity either, but you know what, fine. Eat some large rocks, you jerk. Large rocks are disgusting. They're so good. Wow. Makes me think I should train throwing. Alright, scroll of holy words, sure. Wow, Necronomicon. Not really on my roadmap for this game, I'm afraid. It's not really on my roadmap for very many games at all. The last time I cast something out of the Necronomicon was... well? I was going to say it was that time that I was playing in a competition and had a special challenge goal of orb running Tomb. And so I I got to the point where I normally would have ended the game. I stayed around grinding Pandemonium for hours and hours until I had enough experience that I felt okay going to Tomb. Sorry, orb running Tomb. And some of that involved getting Necromutation up so I would be immune to Torment. I think I also learned Death's Door, probably, right? Like, it's really good. But actually, I guess I did cast it more recently than that. I had another Ashanzari character, actually, that I played off camera. I say another because the game I was talking about in the competition was also an Ashanzari character. And I decided to go for 15 runes because everything was going great. And I taught myself Death's Door. I've talked about this character before, I think, on this channel. Anyway, decided to teach myself Death's Door and all this stuff, and then I got into a lethal situation, and I didn't cast Death's Door, and then I died in hell. So what I wanted to get at is that the stuff in the Necronomicon is not really on the menu for most 3-rune games. Really, almost any 3-rune games, it's not a good idea. You can cast it if you want to, but you'll pay for it in terms of experience you could spend on more useful stuff. You have to just dump a ton of experience in to make it at all castable, and you could have, trained so much more useful stuff. Portal projectile. Well, if we get high enough in translocations, that could be cool. Blink down to 93 now. Yeah, and that's with just 1.8 translocations. I think this is going fine. Really. And back upstairs, I guess. Oh, I can't get to the last staircase because Roxanne is guarding it. Okay. Let's mark that one as no thanks. Don't go back up that if you can help it because of Roxanne. Necronomicon, stuff in it is hard to cast. You just you can get so much better stuff online with the experience if you don't decide to spend your XP on learning level 8 and level 9 spells. Ooh, good paralysis. I like it. Ooh, you see that, guys? We attacked the fawn, killing the merfolk, the fawn, the harpy, and the fawn. Good work, Uskayo. A riveting performance, if I may say. I'm carrying too much junk. I kind of want to drop these stones and these nets because like I'm not really using them, but nets are really valuable in case I ever remember to use them. And stones, yeah, I can drop stones. I have enough rocks that I don't need to carry stones anymore. I mostly just use them to like get monsters' attention. Oh, I still have the Ring of Intelligence on. Whoops, ha. Alright, Blink is a little less castable. Wait, still 93. I thought it was 93 with the ring on. Right? 93. Put on Intelligence. 87. Ah, so our translocations hit level 2, which made a bit of a difference. Got it. Okay, so 3 intelligence is roughly 1 level of spell power, it seems like, in terms of how castable a spell is. Not spell power, spell school. Alright, we're only on Shoals 3, not Shoals 4. Just wanted to double check there. Sometimes you can just sort of get carried away and get a little deeper than I intend to. Still, I'm still like have a little bit of memory of layer branches being 5 levels. So every so often I still go get to like 3 and then 4, and it's like, wow, it seems like I just got here. How am I at the end already? All right, this is a problem. Where are the impalers? I don't like them. We're fighting way too out in the open. Let's get away from the water and try to get around this corner. Now, you know what? Let's wield our Rod of Ignition. Should do a good number on them, right? Missed most of them. Let's try again. All right. Uskayo is somewhat impressed, I guess. What else do we have that's useful? They're paralyzed. I guess I should just try to get the stab on this guy. No, it's not really much of a stab, but hit him while he can't dodge. Okay. Yeah. All right. This went okay. I had to back up from the impalers and reduce the surface area I was exposing myself to. But it was a manageable number of monsters as long as I engaged them, not like an idiot. What was I talking about? Blinks at 87 now, that's nice. Spells. Throwing stones? Rocks? Oh, my brain. Is there anything in my log that's going to remind me? I doubt it, but before the impalers distracted me, right? I was talking about something. I don't know. Well, if you guys really want to hear the conclusion of that train of thought, you will have to leave me a comment and tell me what it was. Sorry. And then you probably won't hear about it for like a week if the I don't know. So like as I mentioned in a previous recent video, I'm playing around with YouTube's features for recording an episode and scheduling it to be published at a later time. Whereas previously I had been just uploading stuff as soon as I was ready, as soon as I was done with it. So I don't know exactly how long my backlog is going to be, or even really how much stuff. This is the icy one, right? Icy Shoals or something. It's a fairly newish one. Let me out, please, though, for real. Anyway, so like I said, I've been playing around with this new feature, and I don't know how long a backlog I want to have. or how much I want to upload even. Not upload, rather publish, I suppose. I need to make a slight distinction there. Like, how many videos do I want to release every day? Right now, I'm just releasing 1 a day, and I released like 2 on weekends because why not? I had some extra leftover, but like, I want it to, ooh, this is bad. I want it to be an amount that I can sustain. I also am open to the idea that I might just have like some number of series going at a time. Like, I have Dungeon Crawl going, and then I have Hyper Rogue going, and I'll upload like 1 Dungeon Crawl video and 1 Hyper Rogue video per day. Seems like a lot, given that I have a real job. But I don't know. Still playing with all that. The point is, if you leave a comment for me, it could be like, right now, it would be about a week until I got to it. Probably, roughly. Because the video won't be published for around a week. But in the meantime, not a week in the future, but right now, we have Ilsu and a bunch of horrible merfolk on Shoals 4. And we have blithely tabbed away 2/3 of our HP. I think it's more like 60% than 2/3, really. I don't know, actually. It's a little more, isn't it? I don't know. I could do the division, but not easily, so there you go. Well, yeah, it's like 3/5, right? 2/5. It's like 40%. We lost like 40%. That's what I meant to say. A little more than a third was gone, so we have a little less than 2/3 left. Got it. We lost about 40% of our HP. It's important to know numbers, even if you it's really not. What about wands? Like, I don't assume confusion is gonna work very well on any of these guys. No. Well, haste. We found a renewable source of haste. Although it's only a little renewable because there's only that 1 scroll recharging in the entire universe. But still, we have quite a lot of haste right now. So if we are going to stick around, it would be, I think haste would be the first thing we want to do. But I could just read teleport instead. Now, one problem with that is, how much of the map is safe? Probably like none of it, right? To a first approximation, 0% of the map is a safe place to land a teleport. So that's a thing. But is this the one that goes up to Roxanne? No, it goes down here. Where's Roxanne? Oh, she's on Shoals too? Yeah, okay. So if we go up this stair here, we'll land somewhere relatively safe. So that's something we could do, is we could aim for that staircase. It's a long way to walk through water with a bunch of merfolk chasing us. But I guess we only have to walk through 1 tile of water, really. Right now, I have been feared by this guy. Which means I can't move towards him. So that's great, because I want to move away from him. I mean, it's not great, but, it could be worse. And it seems like that might just be a fine plan. Here's Ilsu, right? I mean, she's a problem. But right now our HP is at a manageable level. It's survivable. Actually, what about Scrolls of Fear? That's an idea. Wouldn't really work on Ilsu, probably. But the others, I think, would be suitably afraid. So that's something we could do. Let me walk northeast, just so in case there are any more new guys coming in, they would come into view, like, before I read the fear, not after. Yeah, please, everyone go away. Okay, so one merfolk resisted, and it looks like another one may have come into view or something? Well, I don't know. I don't know. The Impaler must have just walked into view, and this guy resisted. And of course Ilsu resisted. But we scared off 3 enemies who were pelting us at range. They all got paralyzed. They're all paralyzed. Okay. That's pretty cool. If we were next to Ilsu right now, I would pummel her. But A, we're in the water, and B, where the heck is Ilsu? She's invisible right here. So no thanks. But this guy who saves the day. Wow. I'm really surprised our piety was high enough that that was possible, actually. Why can I not get to any other downstairs? Come on. You have to go through Roxanne to get to any of them? Ugh. Well, you know what? That's fine. We can go through Roxanne. Wait. Oh. All right, take me. What is this? This is the staircase that leads to Roxanne, right? But then there's this other staircase here that's an escape hatch, so I'll take that. And maybe it leads to Roxanne, maybe it doesn't. But, like, worst case, it's no worse than the one that actually definitely leads to Roxanne. Okay, fine. Now, stairs down. Where am I? I'm on Shoals 2. I went to Shoals 2 because Shoals 3 had no other stairs down to Shoals 4. Got it. So what I want to do now is Shoals 3, look around for staircases. Yeah, get me to this one, please. Here's one that is not the one I was on before. Okay. And now we're not going to have to go through Roxanne if we come back. So, that was a little bit of a distraction. And this is not too far away, in fact. Let's just throw rocks. Oh, let's walk away from the siren before she can mesmerize me. No, she doesn't really have, like, she's not have resistance to rocks. Alright, so Ilsu is back. Invisibility is something that could definitely be a consideration. Oh, paralyzed them all, huh? Well, okay, I guess I'll throw some more rocks. They didn't stay paralyzed for super long, but long enough. Ilsu is heavily wounded, and they're all paralyzed again. Whoa, did she blink? What? She must have... interesting. I bet the paralysis duration scales with monster level or something. And so she became unparalyzed very quickly and then blinked away. That makes sense. Because that's, I mean, there's translocational energy there. Somebody just blinked. Let's hit this Impaler. Got him. They're all going to share their pain, and there's a paralyzed guy right next to me, so hitting him should do quite a bit of damage to the rest. Nope. I'll hit this water elemental too. Yeah! Killed the siren as well. Nice way to spread some damage around, guaranteeing not to miss. Alright. Where is Ilsu? She's around, but I don't see her. I mean... there she is. You guys see her? She's over here now. She is blinking around more than I am happy with. We will just go back upstairs. Up these stairs, get some rest. We'll come back down when she's in a more polite mood. And just finish resting things off at this staircase. Down we go. There's Ilsu. In terms of invisibility, I have 2. I don't think she merits it. I think she's a chump. On the other hand, like, this is gonna be the last chance, really, to use invisibility. It can be okay in, like, early Zot because of the Draconians, maybe, but I don't think we need it. Like, the main problem is her becoming invisible, right? Yeah. She did 8 damage. You know, I mean, she could have done more, but I think we were okay to treat her as not a big threat when there was no group around. She wasn't the main threat, right? It was the fact that there were a ton of merfolk in general, and she was just one of them. What is that? A Discus Storms. No thanks. Get out of the water. You don't fight sea snakes in the water. Okay. It's a lot of monsters. My bet is on the rune being in there. It's more than you would find in a fake rune vault. On the other hand, that looks like the center, and doesn't look like I see the rune, but it could be actually, I think, here's the center. Yeah, so there you go. Can't see it. And there's a frost giant here. Yeah, he would, that doesn't make any sense except for the rune vault. So, we probably want to use buffs of some kind here. And then hopefully we can, like, grand finale the frost giant after we've carved up these merfolk. Merfolk and Palers can't see invisible, right? But Occlumancer can. Yes. Let's go off invisibility. Let's go off haste? I think I want invisibility. Oh, they did. They changed it. I read about that maybe happening, but I didn't know that it had happened. When you're in water, you cannot... invisible enemies... and you are invisible. Monsters can still detect you. There used to be some messaging claiming that this was true, but it wasn't actually true. And that was changed. Let's... Large rock? I kind of want to get a little more damage in so that I can grand finale this frost giant. Because the damage is going to help with piety, right? Yeah. Okay, well, he's adjacent to me now. I guess I'll just hit him a bit. Yeah, there's the rune. Okay. As predicted. 1 potion of invisibility solves all problems. Solves all merfolk problems, anyway. You know, we don't have an unlimited supply of those. We only have 1 left, but we shouldn't need many more this game. Of course, there's always opportunities to use them, even if you don't need them. But I don't think we're going to have a lot of really profitable opportunities even to use one. This merfolk avatar needs to stop doing what she's doing. That is my opinion. Let us discourage her by throwing many rocks. Yeah, see ya. How's Blink doing? 52. Nice. Okay, yeah. You just a wash pot never boils, but you just leave that on, and eventually it boils, and you can cast Blink. Alligator snapping turtles are always a lot more frightening than I give them credit for when I run into them, like before level 22. These spells. There's a song on the screen, so I thought song, but these are spells. They're all not very good. Passive Equilibria is okay, but we already have access to it. Oh, don't drop a large rock. What are you thinking? I'm used to having to drop spell books after I read them because I'm used to having to pick them up, but you don't have to do that anymore. One of these days, I'll get the hang of it. I've gotten the hang of not picking them up, but now I just need to get the hang of not dropping them, I guess. Alligator snapping turtles, though, like I was saying, they do like a lot of damage. They're pretty meaty. Yeah, we're not going to go out in the water to fight that guy. Auto Explorer, you you have some issues to work on. Don't take me out. Where was Tab taking me? Oh, Tab was trying to take me to the Windrake, but he just kept blowing me back, I guess. I need to figure out how to... I know you can, but I haven't done it. Tell Auto Explorer never to go into water. It's just a bad place. Unless you can fly, and then it's fine. Like, permanently fly. Like a Tengu or a Black Draconian. Then it's okay. Ooh, an amulet. I might say yes to an amulet. Dropping meat and pizza. In fact, let's just eat the pizza. Okay, now let's get the amulet. Identify it. Regeneration. Now, I'm not really using my Amulet of Rage right now. It would be quite a powerful effect if I did use it. But I think I'm sort of past the point in the game where I want to be berserking things. It's just so dangerous to be berserk. You lose access to all the consumables I've been collecting all game, right? In a way, that's one of the biggest ways your character improves your survivability over the course of a long game of Crawl is not really the additional skills you pick up, which are great. I mean, and obviously those make a big difference. But if I were level 1 here, it wouldn't matter how many scrolls of blinking I have. Right? I would just be in bad shape. But it does make a big difference to have those consumables available, right? A level 27 character with no escape options can get into trouble in situations that you wouldn't really expect. Like you never really expect things to go wrong, and then suddenly they're going wrong, and that just sort of happens. That's Crawl, and the question is, how do you deal with it? And forget this Book of Unlife. Are you kidding me? I am never going to be able to cast that stuff. Ivory Ring. Sure. No thanks. Put on magic I was wearing. Anyway, a big part of your character becoming stronger is having more escape options that you've been building up over the course of the game. And when you berserk, you lose access to those. It's a humongous buff, so that can be worth it. But the more escape options you have, the less good an idea it is to berserk. In general, I think. So that's why I'm dropping my Amulet of Rage. There you go. Now we've got regen. That should help all the time, as opposed to Rage, which I think will mostly put us into worse positions than we were in. Anyway, that was a fairly quiet episode, I think. We started Shoals, we finished Shoals. I mean, that's what happens when you go to Shoals at level 21, right? It's a lot easier than when you try to get in at level 15. So I think that means we're done with this episode. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you next time.